Hello everyone. In this video, let's discuss about the types of inheritance. Okay. We have single inheritance. So when I say single inheritance, we have one parent class and one child class. That's all. So child class acquires the properties of a parent class. So I'll have parent and a child. That's all. This is what called as single inheritance. Next is multi-level. So here we'll have grandparent. Okay. So we have a class called grandparent. Now I'll have one more class called parent. So here parent class can acquire the properties from grandparent. Extends. Okay. So this is a parent class and this is a child class. So parent class can acquire the properties of the grandparent class. Now I can have one more class called child. So this extends from the parent class. So child class can acquire the properties of the parent and also grandparent. Because parent class is acquiring from grandparent, similarly child class can acquire from parent as well as grandparent. This is called as multi-level inheritance. Multi-level inheritance. Next one is hierarchical inheritance. Hierarchical inheritance. So when I say hierarchical inheritance, we have one parent class. Okay. We have two child class. So child 1 extends parent and child 2 extends parent. This is called as hierarchical class. So when I say hierarchical class, we'll have only one parent. Child can take from this class and also child 1 can take from this class and child 2 can take from this class. So child 2 cannot take from child 1 because child 1 can acquire the properties of the parent class. Child 2 can acquire the properties from the parent class. That's all. So this is what called as hierarchical inheritance. Multiple inheritance is not possible in Java, but multiple inheritance can be achieved through the concept of interface. Okay, fine. Now let's discuss three inheritance: single, multi-level and hierarchical inheritance with a sample program. First, let's talk about single inheritance. Okay. So I'll have a class called person. So I'll consider person as a parent class. So I'll going to have two members, name and address. So string name, string address. Okay. I'll have a method called display where I can display only the name and address. So system.out.println name okay and address system.out.println address. Okay, fine. So this is what I'm going to have it in parent class. In the child class, I'll not have name and address because that already it is present in the person itself. I can take it from the parent class. I don't want to give those members once again. I'll give student extends person. Now I can say student class is a child class, person is a parent class. So student class can acquire the properties. I can take these members and that can be used in student class. Now I'll have one more member called student ID. Student ID. That's all. So here I'll give void display details. So here I'll call the method called display, which is inherited. Why do we call this inheritance? Because I don't want to call once again. So instead I can call the method called display. So it will print the name and address because student will have a name and address. So why to duplicate this again? So directly I can call the method display here from the student class. And from this I'm going to print one more member called ID. So system.println student ID. That's all. Fine. So I'll go for the main class. So this is not capital C, small c. I'll go to the main class. Class main. Public static void main string args. Okay. Now I'm creating an object for the student class. Student s equal to new student. Okay. S dot name is equal to Tamil. So I'm going to initialize the values. S dot address equal to Coimbatore. Fine. Now I have initialized the value for name and address. Okay. Now for ID also I need to give student ID, right? So S dot student ID is equal to 1001. Fine. Now I want to display all the details. So I'll give S dot display details. So when I give S dot display details, it go to the method called S dot display detail. Yeah. So it go to the method called display detail. From here I'll call a method called display. So what happens? From here it go to the parent class display method. It prints the name and address. After printing the name and address, it prints the student ID. Okay. Let me save the code and let me run the code. See, name Tamil, address Coimbatore, student ID 1001. This is what called a single inheritance, where we have one parent and one child. So this child can acquire the properties and behaviors of the parent class. Okay. Hope you are clear. Now let's go for multi-level inheritance. What is meant by multi-level inheritance? So multi-level inheritance, we have multiple levels. Okay, I'll give an example program. For multi-level inheritance, we are going to have 4 classes. So I'll give one class for main class. Okay. Now, first class, I'll have it as a person. Next class is, I'll have the class as a teacher. Okay. And one more class I'll have is HOD. Okay. So here what happened? I am going to keep person as the parent class, teacher as the child class. So I can say teacher extends person. Fine. Now HOD I am going to have one more class, right? HOD class extends teacher. So it can, HOD class can acquire the properties from teacher class, where teacher class can acquire the properties of a parent class. So finally I'll have a main class. Hope you are clear. This is what called as multi-level inheritance. Parent class is person, child class is teacher. So teacher can acquire properties from person class. Now I'll keep teacher class as the parent class, HOD as the child class. So HOD can extend from teacher as also, and also from person class, because teacher is acquiring from person, right? So it can, HOD can acquire from teacher as well as the person. This is what called as multi-level inheritance. Then I have called main class here. Fine. I'll have the members. So I'll have name, string name. That's all. So I'll give void display system.out.println name. That's all. Okay, done. Now I'll go for teacher class. So in the teacher class, I'll give the subject. So here I'm going to have the member as subject. Okay, so I'll give void teach. So I'll give a message saying that system.out.println name, because name we have it in the person. I'll give a message saying that teachers the subject. So I'll give the subject. So in case I have given the name as Tamil, means Tamil teachers, what subject I have mentioned here, that I'll get it here. Okay. Now I'll go to the HOD class. So HOD class, what I'm going to have? So here I'm going to give a method alone. So void manage. So here I'm going to give system.out.println. Name I'll give manages the department. So this department I'll get from the user. Manages the department. Department name I'll get it from the user. So I'll give department. So here I'll give a member called string department. Okay, fine. So this is a parent class. String name I'm going to display. Name I'm going to display. Then teacher. So here I'm going to have a member called subject. So I'll give a method called void teach. HOD I'm going to have a department, and I'll give a message then manages the department. Name I'll get that is present in the parent class. I can acquire from the person class. Manages the department I have here. Then main class. So in the main class what I'm going to do, I'm going to have public static void main string args. Now I'm going to create an object for the HOD class. That's enough. So with the help of the object HOD, I can acquire all the members, parent as well as the person. So I'll create an object. So HOD, small HOD equal to new HOD. I have created an object for the class. Now I'm going to initialize the members. So HOD.name is equal to Tamil. HOD.subject is equal to Java. HOD.department is equal to CSE. Done. Now with the help of this object, I'm going to call the methods. So HOD.display, then HOD.teach, then HOD.manage, teach, manage. Fine. Subject, HOD.subject, subject is okay, great. Let me save the code. And person also display. Let me save the code. Yes. So here, this is called as multi-level inheritance. So teacher is the child class of person. HOD is the child class of teacher, where person is the parent class. Okay. Level by level we are coming, right? That is why we call this multi-level inheritance. Let me run the code now. See here, name is Tamil. Tamil teaches Java. Tamil manages the department CSE. Okay, this is what called as multi-level inheritance. Okay, and the next is hierarchical inheritance. So when I go for hierarchical inheritance, we have to know that one parent, two children. That is what called as hierarchical inheritance. Already we have discussed inheritance concept, right? The same thing is called as hierarchical inheritance. Now I'll quickly explain you with an example. Where I'll have one parent, two children, where I'm going to consider person as the parent, and first child is teacher, second child is student. Okay, so here in the person class, so I'll have a member called name, address. That's all. And then I'll give a message saying that display, where I'll display the system.out.println name and the address. System.out.println ss. Fine. I'll have something inside the parent class, name and address. Now I'll go for the teacher class. Class teacher, where this is the child class, it can acquire properties from the parent class, which is a parent class person. So I have to use a keyword called extends person. So here I'll give ID, employee ID. Okay, so here I'm going to give a message saying that void display student details. Okay, where I'm going to print name, address and employee ID. So name and address is present inside the method called display, and employee ID system.out.println employee ID. Fine. Now I have one more class called student. So this class extends, this is a child class 2 that is going to acquiring properties from parent class. So here teacher is one of the child class, so parent class is person, so I'll give person. In this place, instead of person, if I give teacher, it becomes a multi-level inheritance. So one parent, two children. This is hierarchical inheritance. So parent, child, multi-level inheritance. Okay. Now in the student class, I'll give student ID. So I'll give void display student details. So here we are going to display the teacher, so not student, this is teacher. Display teacher details. So here I'm going to display the student details. I have a method called student details. So I'm going to print name and address. So I'll give the method called display because name and address is present inside the parent. So I can directly inherit here. Then I'll print system.out.println student ID. Okay. Now we have to initialize the values, right? So I'll go to the main method. Class main. Public static void main string args. Fine. First, let me create an object for the student class. Student s equal to new student. I have to initialize the members. S dot name equal to Tamil. Address s dot address equal to Coimbatore, and s dot student ID is equal to 1001. Fine. Let me display s dot display student details. I'm going to create an object for the teacher class. Teacher t equal to new teacher. This is another child class. Okay. Now I'm going to give the name for the teacher. So t dot name equal to Venki. T dot address equal to Robert. Then t dot employee ID. So employee ID is equal to 132312. Fine. After this, I want to display the details of the teacher. So t dot display teacher details. See? Create method. Let's check. Display teacher details. Display teacher details correct only. Save this code. Yeah. See, I didn't save the class called teacher. That's why I've got an error. That's all. This is what called as hierarchical inheritance. One parent, two children. Let me run the code. See here, name Tamil, address Coimbatore, student ID 1001. Name Venki, address Hyderabad, employee ID 132132. That's all. This is what called as hierarchical inheritance. So we have seen single inheritance, multi-level inheritance, hierarchical inheritance, where multiple inheritance is not possible in Java, but we can achieve the concept of multiple inheritance with the help of interface. That we'll discuss when we go for interface. Okay, that's all.